You're a great friend. The best I could wish for.
After today, you may also count me among your friends. I, Vauquelin Brabant, chevalier, aventurier et voyageur. I'm at your service, mon brave Henri. And I have an excellent idea. In your honor, I shall name my new horse after you.
Pleased to meet you, Sir Vacula.
My name is Vauquelin.
Vauquelin?
Vauquelin. Vauquelin.
Vauquelin... would you mind if I just call you Brabber?
Brabant.
Brabant?
Que peut-on y faire? It will have to do. Do not concern yourself, mon ami. Clearly, you are not talented in the art of conversation. But at least you have courage and other skills. You carried out the entire operation truly brilliantly. I could not have done it much better myself. And look, mon ami. How the fresh air suits Monsieur Chapon. He has finally stopped drawing in self-pity.
What self-pity, damn it? I was locked up for days in a tiny stinking room.
Ah, come now, mon cher. Luck was simply not on your side for once. That is all. Now we are finally free. The time has come for grand deeds. I did not waste my time in captivity. I fought everything over diligently. Listen.
Please, I'd prefer not to.
What's your plan, Sir Baron?
An heroic deed about which hordes shall one day be composed, similar to my feat in the famous battle of Arezzo.
But what would you do now?
What if we were to journey to Vienne? We could assemble a company and liberate le roi Wenceslas.
That would be excellent. If the king were to return, the nobility would definitely support him. Sigismund would have to withdraw.
Précisément. And what is more, our names would be sung throughout the kingdom. Undoubtedly, we would also earn a rich reward too. Then I would invite the best stonemason from France and build Monsieur Chapeau a castle that even Chevalier Hanush would envy.
You must be mad. You've been free less than a day, and you're already thinking up ways to get yourself killed. I'd rather endure Hanush's preaching about my incompetence than listen to this chatter. We'll see what happens next. But the first thing that I need is to get good and drunk. We should spur the horses on. God knows, they might be hot on our heels. Yeah! Christ, wounds. Such destruction and havoc.
War, Monsieur Chapon. You have yet to participate in a real battle, but I fought against les Valaques at Naples, and les Anglais in Bourgogne. And that is how war looks, whether in Italy or La Bohème. It is always the same.
That's not war, it's barbarism. What value did this village have?
Eh bien, I would estimate 5 courtyards. Annual revenues could be perhaps, several hundred groschen.
That's not what I meant, Bacalin. No fortress. Maybe one fortified courtyard. Practically insignificant militarily. That's not how war should be fought. This is unjust.
Do not give way to sentimentality, monsieur. A village could harbor spies and saboteurs or supply the enemy, and destroying enemy assets is an effective tool of war. Wars are not decided only in battles. There are not even many of those. To strike in the rear, make the enemy lose and bleed. That is how most conflicts are fought. However, wait a year or two, the village will be settled. The population will increase again. That is how it always happens.
But we're the nobility. Our task is to lessen the chances of such things happening.
You're right, Hans. We must find allies and put a stop to it as soon as possible, so we can save as much as we can.
Yes, but we failed in Trotsky. And now this is our punishment.
I see that short captivity has turned you into a philosopher, Lord Capon. You should apply to the Faculty of Arts before the muse lifts you again.
Yeah!
I fucked everything up.
Oh, get up, lad. Everyone makes mistakes. Only a better man owns up to them. At least we know now what kind of vermin we're dealing with.
What brings you here? We just escaped from Malashov, and right now
There's no time for haste. One thing at a time, my boy. Word reached Rat-Eye that you pair got yourselves into a nice mess. I'm glad to see you both in one piece. So, let's hear it. What happened?
It's best if Henry tells you. I wasn't around for half of it.
No sooner had we spied Trotsky on the horizon than everything started to go to hell. We made camp by a pond with the intention of heading for the castle at first light, only we were ambushed by bandits in the evening. They killed all our men and took everything they could carry, including the letter for von Berghoff.
And how did you two manage to get out alive?
Just by a stroke of good luck. We were both in a bad way. We might not have made it if a local herb woman hadn't taken care of us.
Only after that, we couldn't get into the castle, though. We looked like a pair of beggars.
And the bastards treated us as such.
But you did get into Trotsky in the end, didn't you?
Von Berghoff received us and heard us out. It seemed like he was on our side. We even helped him out several times. Until we found out he was just stringing us along. It all came out after we set out with von Berghoff's men to deal with the bandits who were rampaging in his domain. The same ones who attacked us at the start.
Only they ambushed us and took me and Henry captive for ransom.
But it turned out these very outlaws are on our side. They're fighting for King Wenceslas on the orders of Sokol of Lamberg.
Well, I'll be damned.
So von Berghoff has been the real enemy all this time. And Zhishka is actually our ally.
Zhishka. He's the captain of those outlaws. That name doesn't ring a bell.
I think you'll meet him soon enough.
What impression did he make on you?
He's some impoverished yeoman. But he's handy in a battle, and he helped us when we needed it.
He made quite an impression on me, for one. I'll be happy to see him again. But if only it didn't have to be in Raborsh. Why Raborsh? Of all the places in the world.
We're riding to a gathering of King Wenceslas's supporters. If fortune favors us, the future fate of the kingdom will be decided there.
If we keep standing around here gabbing about it, it'll be decided without us.
Patience, my friend. This pair have just returned from the clutches of the enemy. No doubt they have something to tell us.
Like how in the devil did you manage to escape?
I was helped by the Ruthard family, the former rulers of Malashov, in exchange for dealing with some trouble they had with Ulrich of Raditz.
Ulrich Favak? But he's the mint master.
Well, he won't be for long, if it comes to light that he's been putting his sticky fingers on the royal silver.
It seems you've been pretty busy.
But don't forget to say what you found out from von Berghoff in Malashov.
Sigismund has convened the city council. Markvart von Aulitz will be there with him, too. The word is, Sigismund is going to make an important announcement there.
He picked a nice time for it. But at least he won't be sticking his nose into what's going on around.
Now, if we had one of our people at that assembly, we'd get Sigismund's plans nice and fresh. Straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak.
My very words. And I know exactly who to send. Young Lord Capon will go with us to Raborsh, but you'll have to return to the city right away, and try to worm your way into the town hall.
What?
How can I get in there? I can't just walk in off the street.
You've got the dirt on Vavak, and you don't know how to use it? Just tell him either he gets you into the council chamber, or you get him on the gallows.
It's worth a try, right?
I hope that assembly really is important. If Sigismund is just going to announce an increase in taxes, there's not much point in my being there.
Well, at least you can enjoy watching the long faces of the councillors when they hear it. And don't worry, I'll eat and drink in Rabosh on your behalf.
If I come back and find you there under lock and key again, I'll leave you to rot.
T'inquiète. I will go as well, and I will not let your friend out of my sight.
Hans? Who's this?
Vaclin Brabant, Chevalier d'Arezzo, at your service.
He was a captive of Lord von Bergov's, like me. He defended Kuddenberg against Sigismund.
In that case, he'll be a welcome guest at Rabosh.
You don't know what you're promising, Baron. Watching Sir Hans is a job and a half.
The main thing is to watch out for yourself, Henry. As soon as you can do so without raising suspicion, come and join us.
He'll manage it, but now we really need to hit the road.
Safe travel, Henry.
Adieu et bonne chance.
And to you. Hopefully we'll meet soon. I ought to go and see Rosa when I'm in town. No doubt she'd like to know how it went with that book.
Quick! Go! Go! Go!
quick! Go! Wait! 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 Go! 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 Oh, God! God! Whoa! God!
Greetings.
Same to you.
A fine day for some fine... Welcome. I'll be right with you. Good day.
I'll have a look at...
Maybe next time then, sir. What would you like?
I'll have a look...
I could tell that story. I'll buy it. Let's talk about the price.
Here?
Well, well. Thank you. And come again, sir. What would you like?
I'll have a look at your wares. Let's talk about the price. Here?
My, I'm glad you found what you needed, sir.
Innkeeper, a beer! a chance against him. Because he's in league with the devil. His name is... Was it... Sihenk? Starting with a...
Greetings, Timmy.
God grant you health.
Good boy.
Why not us? Between you and me, we're really any worse than they are.
Between you and me, we surely aren't. I hope there won't be any trouble. Those nobles can be awfully... The other set up an army camp just outside the town.
Then let's just hope the lords don't take offense.
And in the meantime, let's enjoy the tournament.
By the way, like you were saying about that book,
My favourite book? Pray tell, did you find it?
as I wandered through the fortress, I stumbled upon von Bergov's chambers, and there it lay. Red leather, gold inlay, just as you said.
You really found it? Thank you, thank you, thank you. By the way, did you have any time to leaf through it and see what it's about?
I read a bit of it.
What did you think?
Why don't you tell me what you find so compelling about it? It's your favourite book, right?
Well, let's say that I identify with the author. We share a similar view of the world.
And who is the author? I didn't find a name in the book.
That's on purpose.
You wrote it, didn't you?
Look, you've never thought about writing something.
Me? And what would I write?
How should I know? Poetry, a novel, a treatise, or a whole book?
That's a tempting notion. Who knows? In another life, I might have become a writer.
Wouldn't you want to at least give it a try?
I suppose I'm not quite sure where you're going with this.
There are still a few blank pages left, so we could finish writing it together. You and me. What do you think?
That sounds great.
We'll have plenty of light and privacy in my chambers. Will you escort me?
My pleasure.
How should I start?
You haven't thought of anything yet?
Now, I have many ideas, but we must contribute in equal part.
Both? Well, fine. And what should I do?
Just tell me what you'd like to read about. A tale of a man or a woman? I'll take careful notes of everything.
There are heaps of stories about men, so I propose one about a woman.
All right, a woman then. But I'd need to know more about her.
Such as...
Tell me one trait that is important for you. What would impress you in a girl?
Well, I admire courage in girls. They're weaker than men, and life is rarely easy for them. But they still don't give up.
Do you know one like that? Tell me about her.
How could I not? After all, I'm looking at her.
You think I'm brave? Father says I'm more rash, always acting before thinking.
Well, nobody's perfect. But in my opinion, you're certainly brave.
Enough, you flatterer, or I shall blush. We'd better get to writing. Let's say we write about a woman who is brave and isn't afraid to say what she thinks. Would she do it for herself or for someone else?
Make her brave for someone she loves. That's much more commendable than if she were only thinking of herself.
You can't disagree with that. And to make things a little more interesting, the love will be secret and forbidden, because forbidden fruit tastes the sweetest. Well, just about finished.
Well, let's have a look.
Not yet. Something's missing.
What?
A picture. I don't trust myself with proper illumination, but I think I can handle a sketch, especially if you'll be my model.
What? And what on earth do I have to do?
Lie on the ground on your stomach and swing your legs, but not much. Like you're lazing around.
Oh, that doesn't sound too bad.
Well, now we're done.
Oh, finally. I'm sore all over.
Your suffering is over. Come take a look at what we've done. Your reward. Fear not, the ink has already dried. So what about that story of ours? Tell me your impressions.
That's nice. A bit didactic, but not to the point of boring moral bludgeoning. And that's the way it should be. Sermons for ordinary people work in a similar way. They entertain and encourage, with a few lessons added in between.
You see? When I lead mass one of these days, I'll certainly think of you. And what about the sketch? For such a slapdash job, it's not bad, right?
I like it. Sure, it won't be adorning the walls of St. Barbara's, but who am I to judge?
I know I'm no master illuminator, but otherwise I think we can be quite satisfied. And thank you for the help. I really enjoyed it.
Well, so did I. And for that matter, you're an interesting girl, and I'd like to get to know you a little better.
No beating around the bush. How about that? Please do stop by sometime. I wager it will be enlightening for both of us. Perhaps I can show you my collection of hunting trophies.
You said you could teach me something. What did you have in mind?
If you ask nicely, I'll share some of my hard-earned wisdom with you.
Very well then, Lady Know-It-All. Let's say then I come on bended knee. What scholarship can you pass on to me?
That depends on what you're interested in. There's a whole world hidden inside of books I could talk to you about for days on end. Or if you prefer actions instead of words, I can show you a few shooting tricks. But I warn you in advance that it will not come free. After all, there's nothing more valuable than scholarship. So, what would you like?
Maybe another time. Could you teach me?
Of course, but I warn you so.
I'd like you to you shoot like...
I prefer the term
Will you teach me?
True, but not even Conrad.
God be with you.
Refrain from sin. Hear ye! Hear tidings of what is happening in our city. Just as two royal brothers are fighting over this kingdom.
Fine day for some fine wares.
I'm going to see the Mint Master. May I enter?
Any fool could say that. What do you want from him?
I have an appointment with him.
All right. Go ahead then. But don't waste too much of his time.
Our city Spain has attracted many scholars, with many aspiring scholars of character. But since silver made the city rich, the townsfolk have to promote winning. The rest you know all about. Foundations of the cathedral.
Christ! Pardon me.
Glad to see you again.
You have the gall to show me your face again? I'll call the guards.
Hold your horses. I'll come in peace. Actually, I have a little offer for you.
You've come to blackmail me again?
Call it what you like. I need to get into the City Council Assembly. I reckon you can help me.
The Assembly? The one King Sigismund is supposed to attend in person?
Surely you wouldn't deny me a chance to meet the king?
Don't try that on me. This is connected with Ruthard, isn't it? And tell the truth.
Well, I just want to climb the social ladder a bit. Nothing wrong with that, is there?
And could you not choose a different occasion for that?
Have you forgotten I have you over a barrel? If you want to keep your position and your head on your shoulders, you better shape up.
All right, all right. Maybe we can make a deal. If I get you into the council, you'll behave appropriately and you won't betray yourself, or especially me. And that will be the end of our business together.
All right. That seems like a fair deal.
You can get into the council assembly relatively easily. My cook's son will be serving there. He's roughly around your age. Maybe he can be persuaded to let you stand in for him. Although, not everyone would want to give up an opportunity to serve the King of Hungary.
Who's this boy?
Franta's his name. Franta Cooldown. He's an idler and a boozer, but he's proved his worth as a waiter. Which reminds me, you'll need his letter of permission to serve in the council. Otherwise, you won't be let inside.
What will I need to work as a waiter there?
Fast feet and good manners. And the livery of a royal waiter.
Excuse me?
Do you think you can serve the king in a torn shirt and muddy hose?
Well, no. But I never heard about any livery before.
Our usual waiter had a brand new livery made specially for meeting the king. Don't even show up there without it.
Where can I find the cook's boy?
He's supposed to pick up his new clothes at the market today, from Master Tailor Schneider. You'll almost certainly run into him there. That is, if he's up and about after his boozing bout. I swear that fellow practically lives at that Tin Hen.
At the what?
That German alehouse, the Iron Eagle. That is Zum Eisernen Adler.
What would work on him? How can I persuade him to give me his job?
Would you like me to give you a letter for him? I told you how to get to the assembly. Now do your part.
I'll be going then. See you at the council.
Just make sure we both come out of it alive.
Good doggy. Good boy.
I'll be with you, neighbour.
A fine day for some fine wares.
Bread here. Rye bread doesn't spoil.
Come and buy some good bread. Last chance, fine wares.
Careful.
All that fencing is just a bit of fun, that's all.
Good evening. What?
Come and buy the finest canvas. Belts from the finest leather. Leather water skins, leather bottles.
Fine day for some fine wares. Come and take your pick.
Hats, furs, ornate pouches.
Jesus Christ be praised.
Good to see you.
I'd like to discuss...
Well...
Do you accept?
You must... Hi. Excellent. It was a pleasure doing business with you, sir. Pots for sale.
Pies, sweet pies, fine
Fruit
wares.
pies.
Doors closing, last chance.
Last chance, fine wares.
God bless.
We're closing.
You know what?
Last
Maybe I'll buy one too.
chance.
We could start...
Fine wares.
thin black bread, all fresh and crunchy.
I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention.
Delicious pears, juicy pears. Honey pies, pies like no other. Melt on your tongue. A fine day for some fine wares. Come and take your pick.
What are you trying to pull, you scoundrel?
Eh? Oh, it's you. Sorry. Roast, vegetables, mushrooms. Come and get some fresh mushrooms.
That's just what we need. Exactly. We'll have to talk to the others this evening and decide what to do. It can't...
You silly doggy.
What?
A thief is there poking around in a lock.
One beer.
I've got lots. Have a bowl as well. Sound on
Well,
the bell.
come to your senses yet? Oh, fuck you. I'm telling you, Conrad's gonna win the tournament. And I'm telling you, he doesn't stand a chance.
Shoes here! Shoe repair! Repair while you...
I don't have them. Sorry.
What? Are you telling me you didn't get the job done? I paid you so much up front. You could buy a cart and a pair of horses. And you tell me you don't have the... goods? Someone stole them.
Right here from my trunk. I don't know how it happened.
If you don't give me something right away that I can wear to that banquet, I'll turn your place into a broken woodshed and your face into a flatbread. Understand?
I might have something here. Nothing very ostentatious, but it should be all right. Naturally, I'll return the difference in price.
I should think so. Well, it'll have to do.
Muslan, Barchet, the strongest...
Good evening, my friend. What do you need?
You must be Franta Cooldown.
I am. And who might you be?
I'm Henry. I heard you're supposed to serve at the City Council Assembly.
I am. What's it to you?
Supposing I took the job on for you. You can put your feet up, fill your belly, and I'll do all the work for you.
Look here. It's not like I'm all that keen on it, but it's well paid. Apart from that, it's a bit of a pain in the arse. Them councillors stuffing their faces and guzzling wine, while I run around like a bugger with pitchers so they don't run dry. Why would you want to stick your nose in there?
I want to see the king in the flesh.
Why's that?
I heard a lot about him. How he won lots of battles, how he's courageous, just...
And as bad-tempered as the devil. He's got the councillors shitting themselves, fearing what's coming at this assembly. The more I think about it, the happier I am about not having to be there. To begin with, you'll need confirmation that you worked as a waiter at the council and you're capable of serving even His Majesty. Look here. Do you have any idea what's expected of you? Can you tell different wines apart and that?
Of course. Who do you take me for?
All right. No need to get upset. Show the confirmation to the head butler. Tell him I sent you and think up some good excuse. Clear?
That makes sense.
And you'll need a waiter's livery. I had a brand new one made. Here it is. I look like a prick in it. Hopefully it'll sit better on you. The main thing is, don't lose it before the assembly or get it covered in shit.
Thanks. I won't disgrace you, I promise.
You'd better not. God be with you, good sir.
Dyed broadcloths, beautiful colours, striped fabrics.
Fatter the pillory than the roof.
Franta Cooldown sent me. I'm to stand in for him at the council assembly.
Franta's not coming? What's wrong with him?
He got as drunk as a lord. Totally pie-faced. Then he fell into a ditch, and now he's staggering around the streets, God knows where.
I might have expected. Once, he turned up with a hangover, and as soon as he smelt wine, he threw up all over the chapel door. I told him if that ever happened again, he was for the boot. Oh, well, you'll have to take his place for today. I've no time to find someone else. We can't be without a waiter here, when the king himself will need waiting on. So, let's have a look at you. Have you got Franta's certificate?
Sure. Here it is.
Everything's in order. Now, about your livery. You've got a waiter's cap, a tunic you have. Hose are good. You can put your steel aside in front of the council chamber, along with your other stuff. You won't be needing it anyway. You don't want to be dragging a load if you're running around tables. Everything as it should be. Glad to see it, lad. Do you know what your duties are? For an inexperienced greenhorn like you, it'll be a great responsibility.
Well, I'll happily listen to any advice. I wouldn't want to foul things up.
I should certainly hope not. Now listen. A good waiter should stand in a corner, look willing and ready, and not get in anyone's way. In short, behave as if you're not there. But when one of the gentlemen calls for wine, you run and pour it for him on the double. You'll find the pitchers on a table by the door to the chapel. You take one and go to their table and pour for them. White Tokaib or red monastery wine.
White or red by the door to the chapel. Got it.
But for Councillor Adam of Zarzhitz, you must not pour at all. When he drinks, he disrupts and makes trouble. So the assembly has to be interrupted, or otherwise it never reaches an end. We can't allow that to happen in the presence of the king.
All right. Sir Adam of Zarzhitz stays dry.
And if the king himself wants wine, you pour for him with lowered eyes. Don't look at him. And the most important thing?
Remember who wants what?
That too, but more importantly, do not disturb the councillors at their work. They have a lot to discuss, and in general, a good waiter has to be invisible, blind, and deaf.
Oh? I thought I had to keep my ears pricked.
Well, yes, but only to what anyone wants from you. No excuses, and provide everything that anyone wants from you. Understood?
Absolutely. I'm a waiter, after all. Not some street gossip monger.
Correct. And if you manage not to botch it up, you can even rise on the social ladder. Not just anyone can serve the King of Hungary, but you'll manage it. Right?
I've got something I have to do.
Something more important than if you need to go for a...
Here I am.
Let's have a look. You've got a tunic. You can put... You don't want every... Do you know what...
I know everything I need to. I can do it.
Excellent. Put away your things here. It's easier to serve with a lighter load. You can wait in the cubbyhole for the servants.
The city reserves are in urgent need of new weapons.
There are the pictures of wine.
Unverzüglich. Our current
Hopefully I won't splash anyone's
is a joke.
shoes.
And on top of that, the army was requisitioning from it. Should the town reserve have worse weapons than any Räuber in the domain?
I'd like some white.
What are you getting at, Eldris?
I'm saying that the bandits who freed Sihenk, the Dry Devil, used that thing. That Hackenbücher. Hand cannon. Can you believe it?
Boy,
where
are you
did they
deaf
get
or
them?
something? Why?
You're the one
White.
who should know where they got them. Since you're a gunsmith.
What are you implying, Friedrich? All I'm saying is that they had them, Herrgott. It is eine Schande when outlaws have better weapons than the city
Which
garrison.
one? Are you
And Herr
colourblind?
König
White.
surely knows this too.
What is it, Eldris? You smell a deal?
What I smell is that your stopping heads do not realize what Schwierigkeiten this is. The Dry Devil is running free. There are Raubritter everywhere in the region. We have the army bearing down, and you want to defend yourselves with a few rusty halberds.
And who is it you want to fight, exactly? The merciful King Sigismund is providing us with protection, isn't he?
Der König
Shut that
and
damn
his
bitch.
army will not be here forever.
Shut up! The king can arrive at any moment. What if he heard you?
What then? We're sitting atop the biggest silver heap in... The city reserves are in urgent need of new weapons.
There are the pictures of wine.
Unverzüglich. Our current
Hopefully I won't splash anyone's
is a
shoes.
joke. And on top of that, the army was requisitioning from it. Should the town reserve
wait,
have
a
worse
form is
weapons
kind.
than any Räuber in the domain?
What are you getting at, Eldris?
I'm saying
I
that the
apologise,
bandits
sir.
who freed Sihenk,
Which wine?
the Dry
White
Devil,
Tokai.
used that thing. That
be right back.
Hackenbücher.
With the wine.
Hand cannon. Can you believe it? Where did they get them?
You're the one who should know where they got them. Since you're a gunsmith.
What are you implying, Friedrich? All I'm saying is that they had them, Herrgott. It is eine Schande. The city reserves are in urgent need
There are the
of new
pictures of
weapons.
wine.
Unverzüglich.
Hopefully I
Our
won't
current
splash anyone's shoes.
Waffenarsenal is a joke. And on top of
Boy,
that,
I'd
the
like some
army
white.
was requisitioning from it. Should the town reserve have worse weapons than any Räuber in the domain?
What are you getting at, Eldris?
I'm saying that the bandits who freed Sihenk, the Dry Devil, used that thing. That Hackenbücher. Hand cannon. Can you believe it? Where did they get them?
You're the one who should know where they got them. Since you're a gunsmith.
What are you implying, Friedrich? All I'm saying is that they had
waiter.
them,
Pour me
Herrgott.
some monastery wine.
It is eine Schande when outlaws have better weapons than the city garrison. And Herr König surely knows this too.
What is it, Eldris? You smell a deal?
Monastery
What
wine.
I smell is
Here.
that your stopping heads do not realize what Schwierigkeiten
I'd like to
this
oblige,
is.
but I'm
The
not
Dry
allowed.
Devil
This
is
is
running
unbelievable.
free. There are Raubritter everywhere in the region. We have the army bearing down, and you want to defend yourselves with a few rusty halberds.
And who is it you want to fight, exactly? The merciful King Sigismund is providing us with protection, isn't he?
Der König and his army will
fancy
not
some
be
Tokai.
here forever.
Refill, boy.
Shut up! The king can arrive at any moment. What if he heard you?
What then? We're sitting atop the biggest
apologise,
silver
sir.
heap in the kingdom.
Which wine?
And we're
White
supposed
Tokai.
to defend it with brooms?
You're right, Eldris. But where can we get the coin for better equipment?
We can always confiscate the property of the king's enemies, nicht wahr?
We are more than familiar with the jämmerlich state of our
sir.
armory. And the king is surely aware of it as well.
Well,
maybe if he waived some of the taxes.
The king fears that this town will rise against him. He'll take the arming of the city's militia as a preparation for war.
So you suggest we just wait with arms crossed for the Raubritter to wreak havoc all around?
We can always ask the king to bring order to the realm with his army.
But then the Dörfler will rise up.
I'm afraid I see no solution of the current situation. We shall wait and see what His Majesty thinks about the matter. Maybe we can change his mind. Vielleicht?
I'd like to report to the Honorable Council on the cleanliness of the city and the state of the public baths.
You mean baths or brothels?
Isn't it the same thing?
Hey, waiter! Pour me some monastery
the
wine.
cleanliness of the city is not what
sorry,
it should
sir.
be. The current
Orders
baths
from
in the
above.
city
This
fall
is
far
unbelievable.
short of covering all the citizens'
I
needs.
apologize.
Sorry. You're right, Jerome. But a woman named Betty has showed up on Hopbrink and wants to repair the baths that used to be there.
She's a protege of Maresh. Her efforts are commendable, but I don't think she will succeed.
Hey,
It takes a firm hand, not soft, feminine fingers.
A moment ago,
More
you were
wine,
complaining
Master
there weren't
Bailiff?
enough
I
baths.
have enough wine. I need something from you. There is an item in my study that I confiscated from a female thief. She thought she could wriggle out of it by telling me who the item belongs to.
And what is it?
A silver goblet. She sneaked into Sir Ulrich's house and stole it. No one's noticed the theft yet. But if Ulrich finds out, he'll turn the city upside down to find the culprit. Go and get it. And don't you make a mess there, understand?
Have you forgotten the Black Death? A great many people died.
I can't. I'm supposed to serve the lords.
You're supposed to do what you're told. But suit yourself. I'll go and get it myself after the assembly.
Wickedness that's going on in there.
Keeping the city clean is important. But we don't have money to spare. Arguing about who is going to wash where and how is a waste of time.
I'd like some white.
It's only a waste of time because we're always arguing about the same thing.
Not at all. If you'd finally admit that it's a trifle, we wouldn't have to keep coming back to it.
A trifle? Do you ever walk the streets here? Sewage, rats, slop, and rubbish. The least we can do for the citizens is to provide them with a place to wash up.
What nonsense. Next, you'll want me to serve wine to everyone for free, too.
Why not? In Jerome Nars's earthly paradise, everything would be free.
Don't put words in my mouth.
Gentlemen, let's agree to disagree. What if the king heard us?
I got word that Ruttard has pulled off another deed.
That's nothing unusual. That old weasel will never accept that the city isn't run his way, at least until His Majesty honors us with his visit. And as we know, Gunslin absolutely hates him.
He can hate all he wants, as long as he does no damage.
I fancy some Tokai.
Ulrich, what have you got to say about it?
Me? Well, I'm not sure what you're implying.
I'm speaking
I
about the
apologise,
Ruttard
sir.
incident.
Which
You
one?
were there,
Are
weren't you?
Colorblind.
That.
Why?
Just a small misunderstanding. We've sorted it out and everything's settled.
My ears must be deceiving me. Are you defending Ruttard? Besides, if his men attacked yours, as I've
Sir?
heard, then we have a good reason to punish him.
What happened there?
Well,
leave nothing out.
I don't like Ruttard, true, but in this case it really was nothing.
Everyone in the city gossiped about it. I heard there were several dead.
Did you? That's grossly exaggerated. I don't think Ruttard will cause any trouble. He is sensible enough
and
not
a
to
full
draw
cup.
attention to himself while the king is here.
That's true.
I apologise,
Because
sir.
if we don't do something
Which
about
one?
him, the
Are
king
you
himself will put an
colourblind?
end to him, and soon.
Right. Unless he puts an end to us first. God knows what he wants to tell us.
If nothing happened, there's no point in dwelling on it. Let's move on.
I'm sorry, Andreas, but I wouldn't brush it off so quickly. Why do I
Thank you,
have the
waiter.
feeling you're not telling us the whole truth, Ulrich?
Are you accusing me of lying?
Those are strong words, my friend. Nobody said anything like that, did they?
Then why doesn't he tell us what really happened?
I'm not keeping anything from you, but there's little truth to the rumors circulating around the town. Yes, Ruthard and I had a little disagreement, but we ended it quickly because his daughter wanted to get involved. I didn't want to expose the girl to any unpleasant sights.
So Ruthard is hiding behind his own daughter's skirts?
As if it wasn't enough that he sent his son to die defending the city.
All right. If we really don't have anything new to say, let's turn the page.
Things have got out of order in the town. Some adventurers decided to take the law into their own hands and restore the tradition of duels. It's not only barbaric, but also illegal. If we tolerate this, the rabble in the city will go wild and do whatever they want. I suspect the gentleman from the city's sword-fighting school brought this custom to us. It's now run by the German men.
I'd like some monastery wine. Refill my cup, boy.
Ridiculous, Forsucker. I apologize, sir.
You act like you've never
Which
been in
one?
a fight.
Monastery
red.
And to accuse a swordsmaster without a shred of proof. We're not some old fishwives in the marketplace.
So, you will just leave it be?
Proven offences are punished by the bailiff.
Hang around me.
And that's
Spanish. You hear me?
There are more pressing matters to deal with.
More pressing than the open contempt of the whole town garrison.
Boy,
the guards
come
are
here for a
apparently
moment.
settling accounts their own way. We'll soon be the laughingstock of the
Refill,
whole
sir.
town.
Do you think I come to the council just to
Rest assured,
guzzle
the
wine?
whole town is...
What can I help you with, sir?
I left my gloves in the chapel. I took them off to pray, but then I rushed here and forgot to take them. I can't just get up and walk out now. But if you disappear for a little while...
I really shouldn't, sir.
A fine servant you are.
If I threw out everyone who complains over a beer, I'd soon be out of customers.
Ah, to hell with it. We'll never get anywhere like this. Why waste our time?
Hey, waiter! Pour me some monastery wine.
I'm sorry, sir. Orders from above. Better
Since
try
there is
harder.
the eternal dispute
Otherwise I'll
over
soon
the
give myself
cathedral,
away.
the building of the church is dragging on, and in the meantime, they are calling diocesan pilgrimages to settlers, right under our noses. It's just a village with
waiter.
a monastery,
Pour
and they
me
are
some
going to
Sakai.
Mokarol mining city. Why can't we build faster? Hire more craftsmen,
apologize,
start
sir.
with night shifts.
Which
Haven't
way?
you noticed
Tokai.
there's a war
That's
going
the
on?
white.
Are the experts from far off supposed to work in a city under siege?
Besides, I get the feeling there's something other than the welfare of the city behind your complaints.
Sir? Oh, you do? Do you? And what would that be?
Like, for instance, that you'd like to have your own altar there?
So what if I would?
Hold your horses, gentlemen. That space in the side nave is mine.
When hell freezes over, my friend, your place is at least 2 steps behind mine.
A swordsmith dares to
Waiter.
insult me?
Pour me red wine.
I think not.
Excuse me? You wanted to buy yourself an altar in the cathedral, just like you bought yourself a seat in this council.
How dare you? I acquired my seat for the services our guild provided and
Now run
still
along.
provides to the crown.
Well, I hope you're not supplying equipment to the army. If that's all they have, they would be defeated by that bunch of ne'er-do-wells from the alehouse on Hopbrink.
What ne'er-do-wells?
Those wrestlers of theirs, of course. People from the whole
You there,
town go to
lad,
watch them brawl.
a cup of red.
Oh,
And don't you
this
skimp on
seems
me.
to me.
Because it has all been sorted out. Not long ago, the guards raided and threw them all out.
Ah, yes, I had forgotten.
Sir?
What do we have to discuss next?
Thank you, waiter.
I'm telling you, something is being planned.
Oh, I doubt it. No one's going to tackle Ruthard.
personaltjučega Elegio Petonaitat, Spelkinek Utra.
You have nothing to fear. Not you.
Like this plan of fights!
Come now, Father. Put a little life into your dying. Seen more cheerful priests at funerals.
I'd rather be at one than here. I hoped I'd never see this fortress again in my life.
Unpleasant memories?
You have no idea. I didn't part ways with my father on entirely good terms. 20 years ago.
And now you're 2 decades older and wiser. At your Ujit's parish, you spread the word of God to your flock, and you saved my neck and Henry's too. I'd say your father should be proud of you.
None of that matters a damn to him.
Who knows? Maybe that 20 years has changed a thing or two.
You know what? Let's drop the subject. Do you know any of the guests here?
Most of them I'm seeing for the first time in my life. It's a pretty varied company. We've had bandits, nobles, burghers, a priest, and even a rabbi coming together here. It's like the start of some joke.
Wait a moment. Rabbi, you say? The Kuttenberg rabbi?
Yeah. He came with a retinue. But for now, they're keeping mostly to themselves. Maybe you should go and welcome some of them. After all, this used to be your home. And you're a spiritual man too, so you should have something in common.
I wouldn't be too sure. But I suppose I can try. Who's that French fellow you brought here from Malashov?
The great Baron Brabant. Been everywhere, knows everything, and has the keys to half the kingdom. He's got more fairy tales than my old nanny.
Can he be trusted?
He's a blabbermouth, but a harmless one. Besides, he defended Kuttenberg, and you know how that went. If he were on Sigismund's side, he'd hardly have been locked up with me.
How does it feel to breathe free air again?
What can I say? You can never truly appreciate freedom until someone locks you up for a while.
Or until you become a priest.
No fear of that in my case. I intend to enjoy life to the full. Wine, women, and song.
What do you plan to do now you're a free man again?
What do you think? Get drunk, woo one of the local wenches, and wake up in the morning with no hose and a head like a church bell.
Have you perchance forgotten we're supposed to be deciding the future of the kingdom here?
I'll leave that to the older and wiser. And duller.
Dear me. I'd rather creep off into some corner with a full wineskin. But I suppose I'll have to introduce myself to the rest of the guests, eh?
Indeed you should. After all, you are one of the Lords of Rabosh.
Oh, don't start with that. I'd like to steer clear of the old man as long as I can.
In that case, you should sound out Radzig and Hanush and find out what they're actually planning.